overpass and nowhere for it to go, we could see waters rise again. So it's critical Vermonters be aware of their surroundings, remain vigilant, and plan ahead.
Words of caution from Vermont's governor. Thank you for joining us. I'm Darren Perrin.
And I'm Kat Villanzoni. With more rain on the way, state leaders are worried about more flooding, even as they are just trying to grasp the scope of the damage that's left by this week's torrential rains.
Our Eichmann David joined the governor and the FEMA administrator as they began surveying flood-soaked communities. He joins us live in Barrie. Ike, what is the state's message today?
State's message is we're in better shape today than yesterday, but I mean, look at this right behind me right now. I'm in Barrie, and this is one of the many streets that you can see which are covered in mud. They're still being cleared. Houses are still getting cleared out. And the one thing you can't see on your TV, of course, is this smell. You can just smell the mud. It's in the air, dust going everywhere. And it's clear we have a lot more work to do before we clear out from this catastrophic flood. Wendy Sullivan says she lost thousands of dollars worth of personal belongings at her apartment on 2nd Street in Barrie.
I had a shop in the basement. It's how I try and make a little extra money, and it's all gone.
On Wednesday, Governor Scott joined by members of FEMA and the state congressional delegation to see the damage up close. Sullivan was able to speak to the governor.
Just telling him what's going on and everything, hoping that, something will be done. If he can't do it, then I don't know who else to turn to.
What's going through your mind seeing this right now, Governor?
Well, again, this is my hometown of Barrie, and I see that people are struggling. They were struggling before, trying to get by, and this just puts more burden on them.
The governor's tour started from above with a helicopter ride, joined by FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell.
To fly over an area like this in the air and kind of get an idea of how widespread it is, but it doesn't really feel very.
At an earlier press conference, Criswell said this is part of a detailed evaluation that will open the door to federal disaster aid for the state, local governments, businesses, and residents.
Today is about understanding what those impacts are, understanding what the total extent of damage is across Vermont.
State officials are urging anyone who is impacted by the flooding to call 211 and let them know the damage.
We need your information in order to paint an accurate picture of the extent of damage across the state. Take pictures, document your damage, gather your important papers, contact your insurance company.
Back in Barrie, the governor continues to evaluate the damage up close.
My heart goes out to them, but I want them to know we're here for them, and we're going to help them through this.
And as Wendy Sullivan picks up the pieces, she has a message for all Vermonters.
Stay strong and help one another. We are supposed to be a community. Let's show it.
The governor stop here. He says he is expecting to tour other parts of the state where damage was hit the rest of the week. He's also signing an executive order to help facilitate building back, and we are waiting on the exact details of that. Reporting live in Barrie, Ike Ben David, Channel 3 News.
Ike, thank you. Senator Bernie Sanders says the president promised him he'd do everything he could to help.
We are now living through the worst natural disaster to impact the state of Vermont since 1927.
Senator Sanders says the delegation is working with FEMA, the U.S. Transportation and Agriculture Departments to get aid ASAP. And Sanders says they'll hold insurance companies accountable.
We'll do its best to make sure that the private insurance companies respond quickly and effectively to the needs of the people of Vermont. I'm going to work with them to make sure that they are not nickel and diming people.
He says thousands of homes and businesses have been damaged or destroyed. And Senator Welch says he's heartened that so many Vermonters are already stepping up to help their neighbors.
And every Vermonter whose home has been affected has just got a long, very tough road ahead. We will do our part, and I'm quite proud to be here with Vermonters who are working so hard and so effectively to respond to the needs of our citizens.
In addition to the hands-on help Vermonters are lending, Congresswoman Becca Balint urged people to lend an ear and shoulder, too.
We cannot overstate the impact
that trauma can have on the lives, particularly of children and adolescents. What I'm asking Vermonters to do is be gentle with one another. This is a difficult time for so many, for families, for individuals, for small businesses, and also for farmers. Let them know that you're there for them, and we're going to be there for you.
A website was created for people wanting to volunteer. They ask you to sign up and not take on assignments by yourself. We'll put a link with how to register on WCAX.com. We'll also include a link to a verified place to donate money. As Ike said, if you have property damage, you can report it to 211. You're also encouraged to contact your insurance company.